All right. Hello, everybody. We are talking about compensation plan. So, this is a presentation I gave at SFR last year, and I'm just going to quickly use it because it's the same exact information. So, comp plan, that's the most important thing that you can know, learn, and teach others if you are wanting to grow your business and to move up in rank, basically. I remember when I first started, me and my upline sat there probably for a few hours going over the comp plan, making sure we understood it since he was new, very new back then, and there wasn't a whole lot of training. So we had to sit there and figure out and make sure, okay, what do we need in order to be active? What do we need in order to go from essential to certified? What do we need in order to get to become a star consultant? So these things are really important. Along with this presentation, you'll also be able to find a comp plan worksheet. So that way you can kind of work through it. It will also have the answers. So that way, if you want to do it with your team, if you want to do it on your own, so there'll be one that's blank and one that will have the answers. So you can kind of figure out what's going on. If you run into any problems and you're like, man, I really tried doing the worksheet and I know the answer is this, but I couldn't figure it out, feel free to come back and comment on either this video or on the post. And I'm happy to help answer any questions that you have. Great, so first things first, if you're an essential consultant, you're aiming for personal retail volume. Anything that you sell under $1,000, you're essential. Once you've reached that $1,000, you become certified. Now, what's the difference? If you'll come down here to where it says commission from PRV, right here, essential gets 20% off of whatever they sell that's under $1,000. Certified, you get 25%, and you can see here on out, 25% always. The great thing about essential is you can do your essential, you can take a year to do it, you can do it in 1 month, you can do it in 3 months. It does not matter how long it takes for you to reach that certified. You can stay essential as pretty much as long as you desire. You can fall off as a consultant and then come back and still be essential. It can take you years, it can take you weeks. It's totally up to you. Or it can take you a day if you are a host and you get flipped and your party's already $1,000. The great thing though that you want to know and you want to teach anyone that signs up is the software does not know the exact date. Like it's not Sally reached her $1,000 on May 5th. So all of her orders that she put in up to May 5th, they're not going to be 20%. You will make 25% on everything within the month that you sell and reach that $1,000. So for example, say it's November and your person is new and they, flip just a regular $200 party. So they put in a $200 party in November, and in December, they do $1,000. They're going to get 25% on that entire $1,000. It's not 20% on the 800 and then 25% on the 200. It's total. So really, if the faster you get them to essential, especially if it's within the first month, then they essentially get that bonus so much faster. Especially if their party, you flip them in the first month, they get to certified, they already get that 5% bonus. So that's the kind of neat thing. Also, don't forget that right here, get certified for a 5% increase. Guess what? You get another 5% increase each month you do $2,000 or more. So not only will you make the 25%, but you'll make an extra 5% on that 2,000 or more. So just remember that. All right, so once you've hit certified, you're always certified. You can never go back to essential ever. Next step is lead. right? So you want $500 in sales, you personally. If you are wanting to become lead, then you need $500 and your group wholesale volume is 1,000. Now, the thing to note is wholesale. That is minus 25% on PRV. So for example, I don't think I have my phone in here to use the calculator. That's great. Okay, so if you normally you can look at it and go, well, if I'm doing 500 and my one frontline, because you also need, right here it says active frontline. My one frontline does 500, that's 1,000, right? No, because we're talking wholesale. This is retail, PRV, retail, and wholesale, W, wholesale, okay? So that's really important. Those are the most important numbers. So the way you figure it out is you can do 1,000 divided by 0.75. And that means you need $1,333.33 in retail volume to become lead. And you can do that each month that you are trying to move up in rank or each month that you're trying to get paid at title. That's what's most important, right? So say you're like, okay, I'm lead and I want to get my girl to star, or I want to become star. Somebody's becoming a star this month and they need 2,500. They need 2 active recruits, which remember, active is 200 PRV each month. But total, they need 2,500. So for example, if you do the 500 plus 200 and 200, that only gets you $900. And that's in retail, not wholesale. So let's figure that out. 2,500 divided by 0.75. That's 33. It's basically like just rounded up to $3,400 in retail volume. And this chart you want to come back to every single month until you completely understand what each person needs. I know it's posted now on the workstation when they open it up and they can see, oh my gosh, we're almost there. But it's really invaluable to understand and memorize and know, okay, what does the next person need? They need, 1,000 GWV. Do they have one active recruit? When you run your reports and you can look at that and you go, okay, Sally has, she's got one active check. Okay, well, they have the 1,000 GWV, but she doesn't have her 500 in. So it's important to look at all those. Now, on the next slide, we're going to talk about rank versus title. So rank, this is what catches a lot of people up. A rank is the qualification level at which the consultant's compensation plan will be determined from month to month. Title is your highest rank achieved. You will always be paid on your rank and your frontline's title. So for example, Joanne is a star consultant, Missy is a lead, Becky is a certified consultant, Laura is a star consultant. Joanne will only get paid on those ranks that are lower than hers. So she will make money on Missy as a lead consultant, and she will make money on Becky's certified consultant, but she will not make money on Laura. Okay, because Laura is a star consultant. They're equal ranks. The only time this changes is when they're both directors. All right. So also to note, you are only paid on your front line and their GWV. So whatever Missy is, we'll go back. If you are a star consultant, then you're going to get a bonus, a 2% bonus on your lead. Okay. So if we go back, you will get paid 2% on the total of Missy's lead GWV, right? So, and keeping it easy, say they reach 1,000, you'll get 2% of that $1,000. Same with certified, okay? So it's really important. That is why it's really important to understand the compensation plan, because each month you can learn how to configure your paycheck. You know, it takes between 8 and 10 days to figure that out. I love to figure it out on the next morning as soon as everything's done and it's complete. And then I can kind of figure out, okay, this is how much I'm making this month. And I can start planning my budget and figure out, okay, what can I spend here or there, instead of having to wait and then it's halfway through the month. Why is it important to build a team? Okay, staying solo versus team building. So say you do $2,000 in a month and you get that 5% bonus. You're making about this is all US pricing, by the way. I know in other countries there's different point values and stuff. So I'm keeping it simple with just the US. June personal sales, you did 2,000 and you got a 5% bonus. So that's roughly $600 that you made. Well, for example, if you did that 2,000 plus you had June team sales and you made $1,000, made 2% on the 1,000, that's 20 bucks. And say your certified consultant, should have planned this better, but it's fine. Your okay, so your certified consultant, you're going to get that 2% as well. So you're making that 2% on your lead consultant and 4% on your certified. So you may have only gotten $20 on Missy, but say Becky rocked it out of the park. This happens so often where they're just selling like crazy and she's still certified. Even though Pansy underneath her is a star consultant, you're getting paid on your front line and their team wholesale volume. So say their team wholesale volume, like Pansy at least has to have 2,500. Maria, you know, she's still certified, but that's okay. Becky's certified. So you're getting that 4% on her and her whole team. So say her whole team did $5,000. So you're going to do 5,000 times 0.04. That's an extra 200 bucks. So you made an extra $220 on your front line, plus the 600 that you did because you did $2,000. That's $820 that you made. In the long run, you will make way more money building a team than you will your personal sales. I can't even stress that enough. So what's holding you back? Being a leader is scary. It's a lot of work. I'm not that person. I don't know how. Am I supposed to recruit? Not enough time. Yes, being a leader is scary. And it can be work, but typically it happens over time. And it really isn't that much work, I promise. It's not any more work than having a child or having a small part-time job. It's really not. It's what you make of it. So if you want to do all the things that other leaders are doing, that's fine. But if you can't fit that in, that's fine too. That's what makes this business great, is you can do it at your own pace and be the leader that you want to be or that you have time for. I'm not that person. Whatever that means to you, that's fine. If you don't want to be that person, but you're leaving money on the table. I don't know how. Girl, I can't tell you how many times that My slogan has been over the last 13 and a half years is fake it till you make it. I have finally felt like in the last 6 months to a year that I've made it, that I understand what it means to be a leader and what it means to, do all the things that you should do as a leader. For the longest time, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll figure it out. And that was before we had Facebook and we could basically, I'm doing air quotes, cheat at being a leader. Because now there's so many groups that share information that even if you don't really have the words or the know-how to do something, you can figure it out. Am I supposed to recruit? Yes. Answer is always yes. And not enough time. If you have time, this is going to sound trashy, but if you have time to go to the bathroom, you have time to have a team. Promise. Even at a superstar director level, we still have time. And there are so many that have full-time jobs and can still fit it in. Nothing that lasts is accomplished quickly. So even if you're like, oh my gosh, I've been building a team and I'm not where I want to be at, keep going. I promise you, anything that is worth it does not come quickly. And I'm one of those that loves to read books and I listen to books on, usually it's famous people. And it's so amazing to me to hear that they did not get to the success that they had been looking for. The average is about 10 years. Most of these amazing, I don't know, any famous person that you think of, if you go read their story, I guarantee you it was not overnight. Yes, they maybe came on scene overnight to us, but they behind the scenes have been working for a really, really long time. So if you're looking for that amount of success, it's going to take a minute, but keep working, don't give up. So being a team leader, let's get back to what we need to do. Always reach for your 500 plus PRV. Even if you're like, I'm just a lead and I don't hit it that much, you need to have that 500 PRV now. Always reach for it. If you're only reaching for that 200, then you're only ever going to get 200. But if you're like, man, I'm going to start stretching, do that 500 plus PRV. Once you're like, I got this, I'm doing 500, stretch to 1,000, then stretch to 2,000. Never let your goal to only be 500 every single month. Now, there will be some months where it's like, this is all I can do. But do not let that be consistent. So always reach for that. And have a recruiting goal. You're never going to grow your business. And even if you get to become star or superstar or director or star director or even superstar director, you will not continue to reach the goals that you want if you are not recruiting. Guaranteed. You can lose your rank. Remember a few slides ago where it's rank versus title? So remember how Joanne was a star consultant? If in July, she only reaches lead numbers, they don't sell their 2,500, then she won't get paid off of Missy. So you miss out if you are not reaching your title every single month. Front load your month. At the end of each month, of course, we want to hit our goals, but you should already be thinking about, okay, so this month right now, it's May. So what are we doing in June? What do I have going on in June? What do I know that Scentsy is launching in June? How can I help my team members front load their month and get them thinking about June? How many parties do I have going on? Are they Facebook? Do I have any fundraisers that I could reach out to and get those started next month? You start making a list, and that list is reoccurring. So at the end of every single month, you want to start planning, and even start planning at the beginning of May. I'm still working on May, but I'm already planning for June. So continue to front load your month. Follow up using Maven or what's called Amy now. If you don't like using Amy, have some type of follow-up system. Okay, here's the worksheet time, which I will post below in the comments. One other thing that you can do is the performance tab, what to look for. So you want to look for those who potentially could be either hitting their title or they could reach for the next title. So when you're looking at your team, you want to go, okay, Sally is really close to hitting Star Consultant, but she's at lead now. Or Susan is really close to hitting her title. She's already a lead, and maybe it's been a few months since they've hit lead numbers, but she's really close. Reach out to Susan and go, hey, I noticed that if you place maybe another order and one of your downline placed an order, you could hit lead numbers. That's amazing. You know, help them even figure out, well, what's the difference in their paychecks? This is what it could be. And maybe it's not a lot, but I don't know about you, but I'd love an extra 20 bucks or an extra 50 bucks a month. You know, I'll take money however you want to give it to me. So get those people to think about it that way, where it's like, oh yeah, an extra $20, I can go get my nails done, or I can go out to eat. You know, what could they use for $20? Track your numbers daily. There is a worksheet found in the workstation. Understand why it's important to track your numbers. For a long time, I didn't understand this, but what's really important is if you're tracking your numbers every single day, or at least once a week, you can kind of track to see where your team's going to be at by the end of the month. Or you can see how your team, you know, maybe days 1 through 10 are low, but you've noticed that every month around payday, that numbers spike. Or you can look back and go, you know, we had a spike on the 10th. Why was that? And you can look at Scentsy and go, oh yeah, we had a special come out that day. So track that, figure that out. And then next year you can look back and go, okay, this is what we were doing every single day. How are we doing this year? What do I need to help them with? You know, is Scentsy doing anything this month where it's going to help? Tracking numbers helps you understand what your team's doing and then how you can better help them. Like, for example, here's another one. If you're noticing that most of your numbers come at the very end of the month, then we need to go back and have a lesson on front loading the month. Of course, lots of numbers roll in at the end of the month because people are trying to reach their numbers. But if you're always biting your fingernails going, oh my gosh, are we going to hit title this month? Then we need to work harder on front loading the month and getting them to start thinking, what can we do at the beginning of the month? So that way by the 30th or 31st, we're not going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, are we going to do it? Okay, so that's why that's really important. Just remember, nothing will happen today that I can't handle. There's a lot of things that happen, but typically in this business, nothing will happen today that you can't handle. There will always be some type of small emergency, or I don't know. There'll always be something like, is this sold out? Or I have a question, or my host needs me. But you can still handle that. Even if it takes you a minute to get back to your team, you can still handle that. So I hope this was helpful. Like I said, if you have any questions on comp plan, let us know, let me know, comment on this video, ask a friend, ask on the director page, anything like that. And review it, go over it, go back to the comp plan that is in the catalog and look at it and go, okay, see if you can figure out what your paycheck is at the end of every month. I love to do this. I have a spreadsheet that I use to make it a little bit easier, but figure out what your paycheck is going to be, and then always see how close you are. I'm always within about $50 to $100. I still haven't quite figured out why I'm that much off, but if you're that close, then you're doing pretty good, right? So, and it's always exciting to kind of see it ahead of time. But like I said, it's so important to understand the comp plan. It will help you grow your team and help them know what they need to do every single month. And by knowing this information, it will empower you to continue to grow your team and go, yes, I get it. This is why I should have 100 frontline. And this is why You know, I need to teach my downline to do the same. This is why you don't want just 3 people to help you be active. You know, at Superstar and above, all you have to have is 3 people to be active, but you don't want to only count on those 3 people. So continue to grow wide, teach your people to do that, and your business will continue to flourish and be awesome. And you'll have just maybe a little less stress and you'll be able to handle all the things. So hope this was helpful. Let us know if you have any questions and have a wonderful day.